So Wednesday we got up early and we just got showered and ran to the U-Haul and booked the biggest truck we could get.
It's funny, it's like Store Memorial Drive. That's like saying like, and don't go down Market Street, and don't go down, like these are like the normal, those are like the big.
We knew we had a plan and we knew what we wanted to accomplish. I don't know if we really thought about our chances of success or not. I think we just kind of just did it and just assumed it was all gonna work out.
Look at that, it's on and everything.
Okay.
I know you're wanting to drive.
Oh no.
No one does this. No one builds their own booth. This is crazy. I don't know what we're thinking is mental.
You know, they say that planning is essential, but the plan is useless. And that's probably apt for what happened.
It's pretty big.
Camera rolling. It's gonna document our accident. Which do I take a right?
Do you feel like a boss driving this thing?
I kind of feel out of control. I'll park somewhere near.
We had a rough plan. Our plan was basically to go to Home Depot, get a whole lot of wood, get some tools, and prepare to start putting it together.
We actually saw a lot of game developers already carving out their space and like starting to erect some of their big banners. And of course those guys probably spent more on their one banner than we did on our entire team getting to Boston and our booth.
Like the Far Cry 3 booth, Borderlands 2 booth, Aliens, Colonial Marines, Max Payne 3, these things are big. They're really big. And I mean, that's what most games devs do at PAX East. They have someone come in, build the booth, and we decided we were going to do it ourselves.
I wanted to make sure that the rest of the team wouldn't freak out when they got there a day later. They're going to get there about 24 hours later. And so we wanted to make sure that we had enough there that they were not going to start panicking when they saw that all we had was like a tiny frame of a booth and that was it.
We flew out on Wednesday with the whole rest of the team. It was me, Mark, both of the Bryans, Deshaun and Corey. And we got in around 10 o'clock at night, I think.
I asked for a picture when we were on the plane to see the progress, because right when we landed, you know, because they had been working on it all day, and I asked for a picture, and Charlie sent me, and it was like probably the first picture they took, and it was just like a couple things were like nailed.
Just some wood on the ground.
It was like a corner of the one thing.
Yeah, some 2x4s on the ground.
Charlie trolled me pretty good.
It was a good troll. I mean, you showed me that picture, and I was just like, this is not going to happen.
We showed up at the booth. It was coming along nicely, I guess.
I was pretty impressed by the big table, but in fact there were a lot of work to do just on the construction of the booth.
Yeah, as we walked into the convention center, there was just chaos. There was nothing like what you'd expect at a convention center where it's all nice and finished and all the booths look pretty and there's music. It was just like a big racetrack of forklift tracks everywhere and just people carrying things and nothing quite finished. And then we came to our glorious booth with just kind of this pillars going up into the sky and just realized the scale of what still needed to be done.
So the rest of the team has arrived. I'm having breakfast right now. And here are our PCs.
TV mounts.
I was pretty nervous about what we'd actually be able to accomplish by the time PAX opened up. It seemed like there was still a lot of work that needed to be done, a lot of miscellaneous errands that needed to be run, a couple things that we just didn't really know how we were going to address, like hanging up TVs. So I was a little worried that we weren't really going to pull it all together.
So we did, talking about the mounting TVs.
I was so worried about it. I just like, when I saw the TVs, pick them up, you know.
Some of them were heavy. Freaking heavy. Some of them were heavy.
And one of the things we kind of hadn't thought about was actually mounting these TVs. And these TVs are big. We had two 55-inch TVs, and we had four 42-inch TVs. Some of them together weighing 200 kilograms or something. So it was a serious amount of weight. we had to mount above people.
Yeah, I guess I was just hoping that one of those big 52-inch TVs wasn't going to fall on someone and crush someone and kill our company in a giant lawsuit.
We actually met someone from another studio, and he took pity on us. He said, "What you guys building here?" And he said, "Hey, you guys need some TV mounts. You guys need some cloth. We can lend it to you for the show." And he did, and that was just amazing. That man, you know who you are. He saved our booth.
So 2 of the TVs though had a problem where the mounts weren't long enough for, like, there's 4 screws in the back of the TV and they only fit 2 of them. So a couple of the TVs and one of the big ones only had 2 screws in them. Put the 2 screws on top and
did the trick.
He said it should hold. I don't know.
I cut lots of things into smaller things. That was my involvement. I also used a screwdriver a lot. That was the part where I don't even have the words to describe what I did, because that's not my day job. So I kind of just, I did whatever other people are doing. I aped them.
I'm part of the booth.
Programmers with power tools, that's always a scary thing, but I think somehow it all worked out. I mean, it could have been disastrous in so many ways. There was no loss of limbs, loss of life, no utter complete booth collapse. So what more can you ask for?
There were a few moments at PAX where I felt like everything had really come together. It's been a long time that we've been working on this project. It's been a lot of ups and downs, some really big downs, a bunch of years where people just called natural selection to vaporware. So it was really awesome to have this physical manifestation of all the hard work that we put in, seeing people actually at the booth playing the game, having a really good time. It was a really nice moment in the project.
After having worked on this thing for so long, been a part of it for so long, it's definitely a sense of validation. You see that banner going up in PAX and it's like, wow, we've arrived, like we're like come so far from where when we started out, working on the first mod as a free Half-Life 1 download, and now we're at PAX, we're showing this thing off to all the people there.
Just lift them right up to the side.
We had an hour between the hall opening to us and the press coming in at 9 a.m. was incredible, because it was G-up time. The Tribes booth was playing music from their loading screen, which is kind of epic music. And so we had this epic music going. Well, we're firing up all the PCs one by one. We're sort of all getting in our zone, getting ready to talk to all these strangers about our game.
So it's 8:38 on, Friday morning. The press are coming in at 9. And Max, what are you doing right now?
We're just doing some last-minute bug fixes. Yesterday we were playtesting, noticed a couple things that got a little messed up during the last minute.
Should be fine. No problem. That's totally normal. Should be fine.
Okay, ready to update. So on all the computers, there's a batch file called copy build.
Like first they let the press in an hour beforehand. I think a lot of the press were booked up already by all the big developers. So it started out a little slow. We were just playing, all the developers were just playing on the computer, trying to wait for somebody to come along.
In all our haste to try and do our homemade booth and do our first ever convention as a team and try and make this happen, we totally did not book press. We just, we didn't have the contacts. We didn't know who to talk to. This was our first go. We knew nothing.
The opening of PAX every day was kind of my least favorite part of the day, because everyone lines up in this huge room. They're in this huge queue, and they're all really anxious to check out the really big games and get in line to check out those games. Get in line first, so they don't have to wait too long. So the beginning of every day was basically like the stream of people rushing past us to get to all the big name games that they'd heard about. But after a couple minutes, people would start gravitating around our booth, wondering what is this crazy game that they maybe haven't heard of or remembered from the original natural selection. And that's when it became really exciting, was just having a big crowd around the booth, every computer filled, people waiting to get onto those computers, and actually seeing real team play happening on all the monitors.
But it was definitely chaos in the beginning. Like that first game was I don't know, it was not an organized game.
Well, okay, so first of all,
I wouldn't play League of Legends.
Yeah, he goes over to League of Legends
before
just ditches us.
before the crowd got there.
And then as soon as the doors opened and the public was let in, the booths got filled up and mobbed pretty fast. So like we were able to just step away from the computers and let somebody else jump in and wanted to play. And then pretty soon all the computers were filled up with other people playing, and we were just able to hang back and answer all the questions that people had and get people excited about the game.
Once the fans showed up, it got full quick, and it was never empty.
Once
we had to like kick them out, when doors closed. So
yeah, the fans started coming in, and we started, getting off the stations, and they started filling them. And there was part of me that was worried that throughout the show, all 8 of us were going to be playing the game constantly because like the people weren't good. There weren't enough people, and because we have a multiplayer game, I mean, it would be, that's like 24 hours of playing the game straight. But so that was something I was worried about. But just within the first 10 minutes, the station started filling up, and I was feeling a lot better. I was like, okay, I could finally just step back and watch people play and talk to people. And
yeah, we were. I kind of look at it like we were going fishing. Also, I don't know why I'm thinking about water, but fishing. Like you just see a group of people off to the side of the booth, and you just go out and reel them in because you could tell they were kind of interested, but they didn't really know what they were looking at. You can see that little bit of confusion or wonder, hopefully, on their face when they see the commander view and the alien view, the monsters, as some people called them. They didn't realize it was an alien-themed game.
All right, so my experience at PAX after the booth was built was, imagine this was my comfort zone here, which is basically me sitting alone, programming, and then I went miles away in that direction, which is basically me talking to strangers. And telling them about how awesome our game was. And initially that was really terrifying because I'm coming to people, hello, I made this game.
The game was full up. Within 10 minutes we had someone playing at all 14 stations, and they were playing and they were having a good go at it. We were teaching them, we were talking to people behind them, lining up to play. And from the moment at 10 a.m. when the hall opened to the public to the moment it closed on Sunday night and the enforcers said that everyone had to get out, the booth stayed full the whole time.
Yeah, it depends. For people who don't know the game, I enjoy explaining what's happening because when you say it's a real-time strategy game and they look at the string and they see a first-person shooter, they have I don't know what they felt, but their face are fun.
People kept talking about they looked at the screen and say, what are these monsters or these dinosaurs? They didn't know what they were looking at. They just kept saying dinosaurs. And the best one I heard is someone said, is that an alligator on the screen? I thought I just saw an alligator climbing up the wall. And I thought that was really great. I'd never seen a game that featured a playable alligator character.
There was definitely a lot of interviews. There's a few camera interviews, which are always hard for me to go back and watch after the fact.
How's it going, guys? Golden Boy CW here with RTV, and I'm with Corey Schrader.
Like everything else in this trip, I was pretty anxious about the teardown of the booth too, because I thought it was going to take us a really long time.
I guess all day Sunday I was pretty much worried about that, because the plan was that Sunday night you have until 10 p.m. You have to get out of there, and then you have all day Monday. But we were flying out on Monday, so we were flying out at 1 p.m. on Monday. So we really weren't going to have much time on Monday to do anything.
I had a feeling that I was the only person who knew that it would be really quick. But so when we spent 2 or 3 hours, I was not surprised. It was, I don't know. I've experienced a lot of construction and deconstruction, and I know that when you destroy, everything is really quicker.
I was mostly worried because we had done everything by hand with screws and nails were everywhere. I was thinking if anyone's going to get injured, it's going to be during the teardown because we're just going to be going at it and there's just going to be stuff everywhere.
And the boost tear up was or tear down in fact, was really therapeutic. It was awesome, just destroy everything, take everything apart.
Okay, let's get this thing done. Let's get the computers packed up in the boxes and ship out. Let's rip this booth down.
He was going at the booth like a freaking maniac, right? Just with this electric saw that we finally got, just chopping the thing into pieces. I don't think he was really thinking ahead of how it should be balanced or whatever, but it did work out. But yeah, it was impressive. He kind of went through it like I don't know, a beaver going through a dam or something.
That was actually the downside of being all indie about our booth. Was I realized that all the other booths, actually, they packed up their big figurines and giant banners into perfectly made cases, and they all latched back together and they went off on to get shipped away, which was pretty awesome, actually, that they got to reuse all that stuff. We just had to rip it all apart and throw it away.
But I mean, it all worked out great. I mean, I think we all knew that what we had was really good. I mean, the game that we were going with was solid. We were showing people something new and exciting, and I had confidence that people were going to like what they saw.
I always wanted to go to PAX, so you know, it was totally awesome to be there, and then also to be working.
I was really proud of what we showed at PAX and the reaction of people. Lots of people came up to us, thanked us for making this game, all the work that we put in this game, and Natural Selection 1. People who had never heard of either one, who got really excited about the game just from what we showed there at PAX.
The exhibitors at PAX were all super friendly. Like, everyone was just trying to, like, at one point, a guy lent us a vacuum to, and the guy from the Firefall booth helped us at the time. Like, we were helping other people out. They needed a 2x4, we give it to them. It was just a very friendly environment, and I was really happy with that.
You know, you spend so much time in the trenches, like with your heads down working on the game, and all you see are the problems, the bugs, the performance issues, the lack of, all the features left to do in the game, and just seeing people coming to it fresh without all that, and having a great time playing, and amazed at what they were looking at. I think it just really gives you that energy to come back and work and just crank on the game, get it done, make it better.